Good morning, everybody. Jay Burlison here with you. It's Newstalk 1060 WRHL's morning edition, 7:50 here on this Thursday morning. Right now, 59 degrees under partly cloudy skies. And, this is where we have our interview segment, and I have a very interesting interview. We just actually got in touch with Kevin here yesterday, and he's doing something really interesting. I kind of want to set it up, but I also kind of want to just turn it over to Kevin. So I'm going to say good morning, Kevin.
Good morning.
And Kevin is coming to us from Santa Monica, California, where his journey began. And Kevin, why don't you tell everybody about what your journey is?
Well, on April 15th, I skateboarded out of Santa Monica Beach, California, and my journey is to skateboard to New York City. My next stop is really Chicago. That's where my next big splash is. But I'm also creating a documentary and filming the whole process along the way.
Okay. And so when you set out from Santa Monica, did you prepare, like, leading up to this, like, I'm going across the country, or did you just kind of get going and be like, you know what, I can do this?
Yeah. Well, the way it all started was that I was in New York City. I was an actor and model, and I was trying to overcome an obstacle in my life. It was really difficult out in New York City for me. Within 2 weeks, I literally lost all the hair on my head as a model.
Wow.
It was due to a condition called alopecia areata, which is stress-induced and an autoimmune disease, hair loss. So I set out to overcome this obstacle in my life and to fulfill a childhood dream of mine, which is actually to learn how to skateboard, first of all. So I learned how to skateboard and to travel across America. So I combined two of these things in my life to create something and do something better, to actually inspire myself to do something.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. Like, I guess I just assumed you probably had years of skateboarding experience.
No, that's the weird part is that, I wanted to skateboard ever since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
And I was always too fearful of it. I was scared of falling, looking like a dope in front of all these cool teenage kids. And it was just something that I was like, you know what? Who cares anymore?
Yeah.
And this opportunity presented itself to me.
Well, I have to imagine being halfway across the country now, you're pretty darn good at it.
Yeah, I actually, I learned how to do goofy and regular before I left, but now it's like it doesn't even feel any different. So I can do both sides. I can't do tricks because it's really hard to do tricks on highways.
Yeah.
Or
not a lot of stuff to jump or grind on or anything like that.
Not only that, but it's like, I almost lost my skateboard a couple times. I took a couple dives on Route 66. Sidewalks, people, dogs.
Yeah.
Not on the highway, but like just running into people is a problem.
And we touched on this a minute ago, and I kind of wanted to talk to you about it. We talked a moment off the air about how this isn't really for a cause. Like you mentioned, it's kind of the anti-cause, which in itself is a cause. Can you talk a little about that?
Yeah, I've done so much research on people that have done cross-country trips. And it's always about fundraising. It's always about, awareness of a cause of like cancer or feeding the hunger. In all realism, one man crossing the country is not going to cure or solve any of those problems.
Right.
So I would actually rather just meet people that inspire me to actually live my own life better, or who could actually maybe help with those causes, somebody a little bit more efficient than I am. Skateboarding is not going to do any of that.
Right.
So it's just like, I just felt like to make money or to donate money was the only reason to do this. No, I mean, I'm benefiting and getting so much out of this myself. And I think a lot of people should do something like this, a cross-country trip.
Yeah, or take whatever it is that was their childhood dream and make it a reality.
Exactly. I mean, ever since I don't want to give Forrest Gump all of the credit, but like ever since I saw that, I was like, that's such a cool idea to see America that way.
Yeah.
And ever since I've bumped into some other people who have seen America through another ways of traveling. I've met a guy named Samuel who was traveling across America with his 2 horses. And I bumped into him and talked about it. He's almost the same as me, where it's like it's not a cause. It's to unite America and Americans. And, me being Asian American, I actually said, yeah, you know what? I felt very disconnected from this country, from being American for a while. I wanted to actually reconnect myself, and I thought this was the best way, seeing people firsthand.
And it's neat because I get what you're saying as far as it's like, the anti-cause, like the fact that you're just doing something, fulfilling a dream that you've had for years, that is the cause.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when you meet people that, and you're sharing your story and they're sharing theirs, the fact that you're just like, I just decided I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
You're meeting people that are getting that idea. Well, heck, I should do something like that.
That's the thing. Everybody, I feel like, feels like they need a reason to do something, a cause, something to bring money in and attention or something. And really, it's just like, I feel like if more people would just do something for their own dream because they want to, I just want people to do that.
Yeah. Now, how is it that you mentioned that you have a support vehicle? How does this vehicle support you?
Well, actually, the support vehicle wasn't even in the plans from the beginning.
Okay.
I just bumped into a guy named Rochelle who was actually kind enough to assist me on this trip in the last week of preparation. He was fortunate enough to actually leave work and join me on this trip. And the support vehicle is only a little blue Subaru that is actually just a place for me to sleep at night if there's no place to sleep. Mm-hmm. When I was in the Arizona desert, there was a 110-mile stretch of nothing.
Oh, wow.
So just pitched a tent. It held my tent. We had a vehicle filled with water, food for anything I needed. And also it's just to make sure I'm safe along the road.
Yeah.
I'll go 5 miles. He'll catch up with me or be ahead of me. He'll navigate me through some bad, conditions as well. And he'll just tell me what routes I'm taking along the way. He'll also go ahead to actually hit up a restaurant, tell people I'm here, and to set up a camera once in a while, help me with digitizing and with the camera work, come up with ideas and just talk to people.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned that you went through the Arizona desert. We know you're headed towards Chicago and ultimately New York City. So can you describe the route that you're taking, and was there any particular thought pattern behind the route you're taking?
The routes we were taking just seriously was like whatever the safest route would be.
Okay.
For instance, on I-80, obviously that's not safe, and state trooper told me so we couldn't take that anymore.
Right.
Been taking a lot of back routes. For instance, Route 51 was one of the most miserable, and that was in I think the latest state, Wyoming. And that was actually like the worst one. It was just so hilly after hill after hill and just like bad gravel. And it's just been like great to see like what route I'm going to take next.
Yeah. So when you get to New York, are you just going to be flying back to Santa Monica?
Well, I hope to buy a car and actually do a road trip back.
Oh,
so
cool.
I wouldn't mind. And, the documentary doesn't really end once I hit New York. It's really going to be about what happens, what do I get from this at the end of it?
Okay.
Like really the purpose of this isn't going to come out until the end of this trip.
Yeah.
I can say all that I want, but really it's going to fulfill the purpose. And
The purpose will have
afterwards.
yet to be seen.
Of course,
really.
if it already happened, I might as well just stop skateboarding and go back to LA from this point.
Yeah.
I'm just getting so much more. Every single town I bump into, every single interview, every single person that I bump into, I'm just getting so much more and so much inspiration in my life that, from people that I meet that have overcome obstacles in their lives or have a great story to tell. Yeah. And I want to be able to share that with everybody.
Now, as far in so much as you want to be able to share it with everybody, can people follow what you're doing, or is there like a website that people can kind of see like your day-to-day progress and some videos to check out of people you meet and stuff like that?
Yeah, on Facebook it's called Kevin and His Skateboard, and also on Instagram Kevin and His Skateboard. Kevin and His Skateboard. Yeah. So if you like the page, everything will show up.
All right, Kevin, thank you so much for joining me here on this Thursday morning.
Appreciate it.
It is 7:59, and right now 59 degrees under partly cloudy skies. This is Morning Edition. Make sure to stick around. Coming up after CBS News, we have all the day's news and sports stories, and plenty more of Morning Edition to come in the 8 o'clock hour. Also, if you're just hearing this for the first time, make sure you're tuning in from 9 to noon for the Real Deal radio auction taking place from 9 to noon here on Newstalk 1060 WRHL and WRHL.net.